weeks ago, I had the best sales week of my life. And then in the last full week of November, I broke that record. And that's the week of sales that we're going to talk about in today's video. Stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on reselling platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. And in these What Sold videos that I do on a weekly basis, I like to share with you everything that sold for me in that week. I'm going to be honest with you, these videos are very time consuming to make. It's a lot of preparation. If you want a look at what my ridiculous notes look like, why do I still handwrite them? I don't know, but this is what they look like. It takes a long time to put together. It takes a long time to calculate my numbers, but I enjoy making these videos for a number of reasons. One, I feel like they're the most valuable kind of reselling video out there because while I know that thrift hauls are super popular, you don't actually know what from those thrift hauls are actually selling. And I think that's what's more important than knowing what other people have purchased to resell. And so I like to watch other people's What Sold videos to see what kinds of things are actually selling for resellers and how much money they're making on those items. I also like to prepare for my What Sold videos because it's a good reminder to me of, what I did to make each sale happen. It's a reminder of where items came from, and it just kind of jogs my memory as to what the best practices of reselling are for me, and then I'm able to share those tips with you. So today's video is a special one because like I said earlier, I did break the record that I set for myself a few weeks ago in terms of the highest amount of profit earned in a week. And not only that, but the sales that I'm going to talk about in this week are chock full of just lots of different tips and strategies that I tried out to great success. And so I'm really excited to share all of that information with you. So if you're excited to learn how I came about these sales and to learn what these sales are, definitely hit that like button because it lets me know that I'm doing a good job and it actually helps me out in the YouTube algorithm in terms of other people finding this video. The last thing that I'll say before we get into it is that this video, it has to be a two-parter. Otherwise, I fear that this will be like a 2-hour long video. In this video, I will share with you some of the tips and tricks that I used because we'll talk about my sales from Monday, November 22nd through Thursday, the 25th. And then we'll talk about different tips and strategies that I used for the weekend, which was massive for me. And also in the upcoming video, I will share with you what my actual numbers were. In this video, I'll share with you, I'll give you the teaser of what my gross sales amount was, but we all know that that doesn't really mean much because it's not your gross sales that matter. It's what goes into your bank account that matters, your net profit. But I'll share my gross sales with you. And in the next What Sold video that I put out, that's where you can get more information regarding different kinds of sales that I ran, plus my net profit. So if you want to know when that video comes up, I guess you're just going to have to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification because that's how YouTube knows to alert you every time I upload new content. So let's go ahead and talk about what sold starting at the beginning of the week. It started off pretty crappily, I'm not going to lie. And I think because it started off so slow, that's why I was determined to turn my luck around by trying some new techniques. But on Monday, November 22nd, I had one sale and it was over on Poshmark and it was this pair of Zaya Active Everywhere pants. They were gray, they had an elastic waist, they were high-rise joggers, and they were in a size medium. These I picked up at a local pop-up consignment sale on their half-off day. So I saw these on, the full price day when I went on the first day of the sale. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and wait for these to be half off. And so my average cost of goods for that half off day was $9.96, which is still higher than I typically am comfortable paying. But because there were such great brands there and because I picked up some really great pieces, I was fine with that being my average cost of goods. These sold, even though they were used, even though they weren't new with tags or anything like that, for $51 with discounted shipping because that was a Posher VA sale. With Posher VA, I have it set up so that if anyone likes an item, they get an automatic offer with discounted shipping sent to them after 4 minutes of liking the item. And so I made the sale that way, and I made a profit after discounted shipping, after Poshmark fees, after my cost of goods of $28.38. Y'all have heard me talk about this brand a lot. Again, it's Zia, not sure, but this is a great activewear brand to be on the lookout for. On Tuesday, sales were a little bit better. Over on Poshmark, I had a few sales. The first one being this Life is Good pink Simplify long sleeve t-shirt in a size small. Life is Good is a really good bread and butter brand for me. It does not ever sell for a ton, but it usually sells pretty quick. With the exception of this piece. This piece I had listed for a few months. It sold for $15, again with discounted shipping, because Poshmark VA sent out an offer 4 minutes after it was liked. I had about $2 into this, and so my profit on that top was $7.54. I think this took a little bit longer to sell because it was in a size small. Life is Good stuff, especially in bigger sizes, will usually move a little bit faster. The next thing to sell was this Cherokee red puffed sleeve pea coat in the size 12 to 18 months for little girls. This sold for $15, and so my profit on that was $12 because that's something that my daughter wore, and there's no cost of goods, so that's pure profit. Cherokee is a brand that used to be sold at Target, so it's not even like a super great brand, but still got $12 out of it, so there you go. The next thing to sell was this pair of Nine West Patty's Day leather dress pumps. They had ankle straps and they had like a pointed toe. These were in a size 10 medium. These sold for $21 with discounted shipping. Thank you, Poshmark VA. And I had about $5 into them because they came to me in a thread-up rescue box that I had gotten when they were running a sale on their rescue boxes. So that's why the cost of goods was a little bit lower. And so my profit on those was $9.34. I had a Mercari sale, and these were on another pair of black heels. This was a pair of Just Fab black Kissa, that was the style name, faux suede heels in a size 5.5. These I had picked up over a year ago at a local consignment store because they let me shop in bulk by myself during like the height of COVID in their storage unit. And so my cost of goods for shoes from the many outings that I made there during that time came out to a little under $2. These only sold for $10, so my profit was only $6.91. But because my cost of goods was so low, I was just picking up like as much stuff as possible because I didn't know when the next time I'd be able to source was either. So I was picking up everything and anything. The next day that we'll talk about is Wednesday, which was November 24th. After this day is when things really started to pick up. So I did have one bundle sale on Wednesday. I actually think that this person just went ahead and bundled these things together and just sent me an offer, which that happens from time to time, but it's not a very frequent occurrence. So it's always exciting. The first thing to sell in this bundle was this Anthropologie Rana Gill Jardin, I think that was the style name, floral blooms skirt in a size 0. This actually came to me from my friend Melinda at Joyfully Curated. I bought a style box from her, and I do have an unboxing and try on video that I will link right here. This skirt she actually, I think, gave to me for free, just like a thank you for trying out my style services. As a sidebar, I don't think that she's doing them anymore at the moment, just because she's really busy as a nurse, and as you know, our nurses are being kept very busy during this time. But she had sent this to me, and I had tried it on, and a lot of viewers who watched the unboxing and try on haul, a lot of people were like, I really liked you in that skirt, but I don't know, it wasn't super comfortable. It just didn't fit me the way that I wanted it to. So I went ahead and listed it, and I didn't really have any cost of goods in it because she gave it to me for free as a gift. The next thing to sell was this pair of New Without Tags AMS, that was the brand name, black bow pointed toe slip-on shoes in a size 6.5. These were from that same consignment store, bulk buy that I did in their storage unit. So I had about $1.80 into those. The next thing to sell was this New With Tags Lulu's blue striped faux wrap midi dress in a size small. This my sister-in-law gave to me to list, and so I had no cost of goods into that. And the final piece in this bundle was this Gap navy plaid wool blend 2-button blazer in a size 0. This is actually something that I owned and wore for a few years. I mean, this is an older piece. It's not vintage yet, but I mean, it's pretty old. But these 4 items sold in a bundle for $70. I had about $1.81 into that bundle because, it was a mixture of things that either I had worn or had been given for free. And so my profit on that bundle was $54.19. By the way, a lot of the sales that went out this week went out to viewers. And I'm so sorry that I'm not able to shout all of you out. I didn't really know at the time who was a viewer or who just bought because they just bought. A lot of times I find out that people are viewers when they leave love notes. But this week of sales was just so crazy. Like you saw my notes. I do think that this went out to a viewer. But if you are a viewer and you made a purchase from me, please know from the bottom of my heart that I was beyond thankful. And please know that you contributed to me having my best week ever. And for that, I am forever grateful. Like in my book, you can do no wrong. So thank you so much. The next thing to sell over on Poshmark was this pair of Beta brand yoga denim straight leg elastic waist jeans in a size medium. These sold for $65 and I picked them up very recently at a local consignment store for their full asking price of $14.99, which is usually more than I pay for stuff, but Beta brand, great brand. And I had never seen their denim before, but I was like, I'm willing to try it out for $15 and see what happens. And what happened was a $37.01 net profit. So love to see it. Beta brand, if you find it, it's probably worth picking up. And then over on eBay, I sold this pair of Rag & Bone Newbury gray suede heeled ankle boots in a size 38. These have been listed for a while. I picked them up at the same consignment store that I picked up those Beta brand jeans, but like months and months ago. But they did finally sell for my full asking price of $69.99. Mind you, this is after they've been on like crazy sales and whatnot, but then randomly they just sold at my full asking price. The buyer paid for shipping. I had $6.67 into those because that was my average cost of goods that particular day that I went to that thrift store. And so my profit on those boots was $53.12. If you have boots, list them. I say to you as I look at my pile of boots in front of me, I have so much to list. Like literally, I'm just looking at all this good stuff right in front of me that I have not listed yet. The next thing to sell was this Gap Kids crochet lace scalloped short sleeve dress in a youth size small. This is actually something that my daughter had in her closet and she was like, I'm not going to wear that. So I was like, well, then I will list it because it's just taking up space in your closet. So it sold for $20 with the buyer paying for shipping and I made a profit of $17.01 on something that my daughter had no intention of ever wearing. The next thing to sell was over on Facebook Marketplace. This was a great sale. It was a pair of Burton lace up moto snowboard boots in a size 9 for men. They sold for $60 on Facebook Marketplace, and my cost of goods for those was only $1.66 because I got them at the Indianapolis Goodwill Outlet, or the bins as people like to call them. I mean, that is like the kind of stuff that I love to pick up at the bins because you're paying pennies, although, you know, these are pretty heavy. I probably ended up paying in real life based on their weight around $3, $4, but still like worth it because my profit on those was $55.34. Snowboard boots, even if they're made from a brand sold at Walmart, which I have sold Walmart snowboard boots, they're going to be worth a good amount. So if you have any lying around, if you find any for pretty cheap at the thrift store, I would recommend picking them up, especially now. And then I had a bunch of direct sales this day because I did my Goodwill Outlet thrift haul. And as a result, I had a lot of viewers who watched the channel reach out and let me know that they were interested in some pieces. And I do believe I have names of these people just because they were like direct buys and they had either emailed me or DM'd me on Instagram or something like that. So the first sale that I made was this ugly Christmas sweater by the brand Tiara. It was vintage. There was just so much goodness in this sweater. It made me so happy and it was so exciting that I saved this from the bins and it probably would have gone to like the landfill, but it was really one of my favorite pieces from this haul and I will link that haul video right here. It's the last time that I went to the bins with just my husband. This went to Allison. Allison, thank you so much. So she purchased it for $22 shipped. I had $1.27 into it. So after my cost of goods and my shipping costs, which this went out in a padded flat rate, I made a profit of $11.98. This was something that I posted on my Instagram actually in my stories and I said, hey, if anyone's interested in this, it's such a cool piece. Let me know and I'll sell it to you for $22 shipped. I had a few of you reach out on Instagram and you were like, you are not pricing that high enough. But knowing how low my cost of goods was, I was okay with letting it go for less than maybe what I could have gotten for it, you know, had I listed it on my various reselling platforms. So Allison, thank you so much. I hope you've been able to wear that to like 12 different Christmas parties and I hope you were the talk of the town. The next thing to sell was this Hannah Anderson one-piece like zip-up pajamas. They had a Christmas print. They were honestly in amazing condition and I got them at the Indianapolis bins. They sold for $18 shipped to Paige. Again, I had $1.27 into those. So after shipping and my cost of goods, my profit on that was $10.42. Hannah Anderson PJs, amazing. Hannah Anderson in Christmas PJs, even more amazing. I'm really happy that Paige was able to scoop that up. And I had like 3 or 4 other people inquire about them, but Paige was the first. So thank you so much, Paige. The next thing to sell, and this is another thing that I had a few inquiries about, was this top by Disney. It was Peter Pan themed, and there were like a bunch of mermaids and stuff. But what made it so cute was that it was kind of cropped. It had a collar and it like tied in the front. It was just a really, really sweet top. So I sold this to Lainey for $18 shipped. Again, $1.27 as my cost of goods because it came from the bins. And after shipping, my profit on that item was $12.92. So Lainey, thank you so much. It's a really, really cool top and I hope you love it. Thursday is when things started to get crazy. And the reason for that is because Thursday was Thanksgiving. I knew that on Black Friday and like basically Black Friday weekend, I was going to run some sort of crazy sale. I think I knew at the time that I was going to run a 50% off sale. So what I did was on Poshmark, I sent out offers of like maybe 35 to 40% off of anything that had likes on it, with my rationale being I would rather sell something at 35 to 40% off than at 50% off. So let's go ahead and send out all these offers and see if we can move these things. Plus, by doing so, maybe trigger that algorithm a little bit so that the next day when I run this sale, I will have Poshmark's favor and hopefully make even more sales because, I'm feeding the machine, right? So on Thursday, I sent out gazillions of offers and made a good number of sales that way. So we're going to try to breeze through these. The first thing to sell was by the brand Lily Blue. It was this striped, layered, jeweled, and beaded top in a youth size 10. This sold for $9 with discounted shipping of $2.46. And from here on out, I'll just say discounted shipping for Thursday, and you'll know that it was $2.46 because I do believe I sent out a bulk offers to likers for 40% off. I think that's what I did. And so my profit on that item was $3.59. Not a ton, but I like to think that sales spur on more sales. And that item I was given for free, so it was pure profit. The next item to sell was this shirt by the brand Supreme Being. This shirt was confusing because it seemed like they were trying to pass as Supreme, but clearly it wasn't. I got it in a men's thread-up rescue box, but it had this like record graphic on the front. It was short sleeve and it was in a size large. This sold for $16 with discounted shipping. I had about $2.99 into it because it did come in a men's thread-up rescue box. Like I said, it came in my big 100-pound bulk box. And so my profit from that shirt was $7.35. The next thing to sell was this Club Room maroon 100% cashmere V-neck sweater in a size medium for men. Club Room is a brand sold at Macy's. I don't know if it's like a Macy's house brand, but I see it at Macy's all the time. And this was also in my men's bulk thread-up rescue box. So I had $2.99 into it. It sold for $26 with discounted ship. And so my profit on that was $16.34. The next thing to sell was this lot of 3 vintage from like 1979 Norman Rockwell Christmas glass cups. I don't know if they were actually vintage. I did have vintage in the title. I don't know if they were actually from 1979. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff, which is why I don't pick it up anymore because it's like, I don't know anything about it. It takes me too long to get around to listing it. And even when I do list it after doing all this extensive research, I'm like, did I list it right? I don't know. So I don't really pick up this kind of stuff anymore. And these sold for $9. And I probably had about $3.50 into them. So after my cost of goods, after discounted shipping, I made a profit of 9 cents on those. So that's another reason why I'm just, losing interest fast in this sector of hard goods. So that's just me. The next thing to sell was this pair of Eddie Bauer fleece lined relaxed fit jeans in a size 33 for men. Those I picked up pretty recently. I don't remember where, but it says that my cost of goods was $2.89. I think that was probably like an average cost of goods for that day. They sold for $19 with discounted shipping, so my profit on those jeans was $9.85. The next thing to sell was this torrid gray snakeskin print mesh surplice baby doll top in a size 5X. This sold for $16 with discounted ship. I got it at that same pop-up consignment store that I talked about earlier. So my average cost of goods that day was $9.96. That average cost of goods is much more than what I actually paid for this piece, which I believe was around $5. But we're operating on an average cost of goods model. And so my profit on that was 38 cents. The next thing to sell was this pair of Harley Davidson black leather motorcycle riding boots in a size 6.5. These sold for $39 with discounted shipping. I had $4.86 into them from a local consignment store, and so my profit on those was $23.88. I had sold those before, but I had like a 3-way shipping mix-up, and so Poshmark will not like help you out in that sense. They'll just make the buyers open up a case and you get the item shipped back to you. But I sold them again for a little bit less, but that's okay. The next thing was these Dolce Vita Zella, I think that was the style name, leather knee-high riding boots in a size 8. These sold for $26 with discounted shipping. I had $1.80 into those, but I have had those listed for over a year, so they took forever to sell. I guess I probably had them listed for way too high, but I did finally make my profit of $16.54. Those were something that I got as part of the big bulk buy at the local consignment store. So again, I was just buying all the things, not knowing when I'd be able to go sourcing again, but man, I held on to those for a long time. The next thing to sell was this Mila Schoen, don't know if I'm saying that right, pink and cream scarf with like a carriage and chain print on it. It was pretty. This is something that I got as part of an inventory buyout because I have a friend who's moving out of the state. I think she's moving this week actually, and we had a big get together. You know, a lot of the girls from our church got together on Saturday for brunch as like a final hurrah and as a way to say goodbye. And it was so sweet. She like cried when we walked in, but like we got to talk a little bit during the brunch and she was like, I cannot believe the things that you sell of mine that you bought from me. She's like, some of those things I had listed for so long and I had them listed for so much lower than you did. And it's just so funny what things will sell for certain people and not others. But this scarf sold for $16 with discounted ship. I had $1.50 into it. That was my average cost of goods from that inventory buyout. So I had a profit of $8.84. This did have a little pull on it, but that doesn't deter me from selling something just because it has a flaw. I just take a picture of the flaw, I write about it in the description, and we're good to go. The next thing to sell was this SSV Normandy Mass Effect gray graphic t-shirt in a size medium. When I hauled this in my men's ThredUp Rescue Box unboxing video, I had someone reach out and tell me that this was a band, I believe. However, it still only sold for $9 with discounted ship, so I made a profit of 60 cents once you factor in my $2.99 average cost of goods from everything in that bulk buy. The next thing to sell was this Gymboree black pair of super skinny pants in a size 12 youth. Those sold for $11 with discounted shipping. That's something that I believe I got from the inventory buyout from my friend as well. So $1.50 as my cost of goods. And so my profit on those was $4.09. The next thing to sell was this new without tags Orvis gray and white striped long sleeve shirt in a size large for men. This was something that I picked up at a local thrift store because Orvis is like a pretty good brand. And even though this is such a basic piece, it was new with tags. And I was like, someone will want this, right? So my average cost of goods for that thrift trip was $2.24. I mean, this thrift store has amazing prices sometimes, but someone purchased that for $16 with discounted shipping. So my profit on that top was $8.10. The last thing to sell, and this was obviously the best sale of the day, was this Tory Burch Navy Robinson triangle tote purse bag. It's something that my sister-in-law gave me to sell, and it actually had sold before on eBay, but the person never ended up paying. I hate when that happens. I really wish eBay would change how they do that. It's so silly to me that someone can buy something and not pay for it right away. Makes no sense, eBay. eBay, are you listening to me? It makes no sense. But this bag sold for $97 with discounted ship, and so my profit was $75.14. Every single Poshmark sale that I had on Thanksgiving was a result of my 40% off offers that I sent using the bulk offers to likers feature on Poshmark. So was it worth it? I think so. I moved out a lot of like older inventory as well as stuff that, you know, like I wasn't really excited about. It's not like I was going to make a ton on anyway. So I was really pleased with how sales went on Poshmark. On eBay, I wasn't really running any sort of sale yet, but I did sell this Saks Fifth Avenue brown 100% cashmere long sleeve v-neck sweater in a size medium. That was another piece that had come to me in my men's ThredUp Rescue Box. And so I was able to sell that for $50 shipped. I only had $2.99 into it. And so my profit on that sweater was $42.21. I love selling cashmere. Cashmere just commands a really high selling price. You just have to look it over really carefully and make sure that there aren't any holes, because just like wool, cashmere pieces do tend to get holes in them pretty easily. On Mercari, I sold this torrid teal polka dot blouse in a size 5X. That sold for $19. I got that at the same pop-up consignment store on the half off day. So my cost of goods was $9.96. So my profit was only $6.29. That being said, I did sell that same top later in the day on Poshmark. I think that person bought it at my full asking price. So I would have actually made a little bit more on it if I had just gone through with that Poshmark sale. But it's like, the Mercari person purchased it first. And so I had to tell the Poshmark person that it had already sold. That usually never happens to me, where like something will sell before I get a chance to delist it from my other platforms. It's so rare. Like, it's probably happened one or two other times, and it was just shocking that it happened with this random torrid top. It's not like it was, anything special, but it just happened to sell on two different platforms that quickly. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I did do something different. So first of all, I believe that at this time, Facebook Marketplace was offering free shipping. I also took the time that day to go through all of my listings that could be renewed and renew them. And then I also realized that once you've renewed something too many times, Facebook will give you the option to delete and relist that listing with the press of a button, which is amazing. Like, why can't everyone else do that, right? So you literally just press the button that says renew and relist, and then it just creates a new listing for you. Amazeballs. The only thing about that is, if you're going to do that, and if you are a List Perfectly user like I am, you want to make sure that when you do eventually delete the listing, if it doesn't sell on Facebook Marketplace, you have to go back into Facebook Marketplace and manually delete the listing, because by deleting the original listing and relisting it, you're essentially creating a brand new listing with a different item number than the one that is in List Perfectly. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that is something that I talk about in this video right here, where I share with you what my List Perfectly process looks like. So if you're a List Perfectly user as well, I definitely recommend checking out that video, because you might pick up a tip or two. If you don't know, List Perfectly is my cross-listing software of choice, and it's also what I use as my inventory management system. And I do have a coupon code for it. It's Becky Park, and you can save 30% off of your first month of List Perfectly. And you've heard me talk about a number of platforms, and the reason why I'm able to sell on a number of platforms is because of List Perfectly. So on Facebook Marketplace, after I did all of those things, I renewed any listing that could be renewed, and I deleted and relisted any listing that could be deleted and relisted. I turned on, I want to say, a 40% off sale. And within 10 minutes, I had made 4 sales. It was amazing. I was like, okay, Facebook, I see you. So the first thing to sell was this Madewell striped linen sleeveless dress in a size extra small. Actually, I think it was just 30%. I don't know. But this dress sold for $14, and so my profit was $13.25, because it's a dress that I had ordered on Poshmark maybe to wear it myself. And I did wear it a handful of times, but it just like cut too low. Like the V-neck was just a little too low. I never felt really comfortable in it, so I just went ahead and listed it. The next thing to sell was this lot of 2 Elmo construction cars and a crane. This sold for $12.60, and so my profit on those was $11.17. Those are things that I picked up at local garage sales for my kids to play with, and they did play with them, and then they outgrew them, so I went ahead and listed them. The next thing to sell was this Reebok color blocked long sleeve activewear top in a size 2XL for men. This was something that came in an older men's thredUP rescue box, I believe. So I had about $3 into it. It sold for $14, and so my profit on that was $10.01. The last thing to sell on Facebook Marketplace as a result of the sale that I ran was this NFL apparel Indianapolis Colts pullover windbreaker. This I had actually purchased at the bins, and so I only had $1.66 into it, and it sold for $25.20, with my profit being $22.19. It's fitting that I would find an Indianapolis Colts pullover in the Indianapolis bins, right? So a lot of times with like NFL teams, NBA teams, I'll go ahead and pick up their stuff, especially if that team is doing well that year, and especially if I'm somewhere like the bins or something. And this was like a substantial piece. It was like an actual jacket or something, not just a t-shirt. So y'all, Friday was so insane. I could literally make a video just about that. So that's why I'm gonna stop here. And I promise that I have more sale techniques and more tips for you regarding how to kind of force sales, if you will, coming up in the next What Sold video when I share with you what sold for me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week. And what I will do is I will leave you with what my gross sales amount was for the week. My gross sales amount was $2,556.41. And I had sold a total of 104 items. It was amazing. It was just such a successful week. However, the week that we are in at this current moment, after I was not able to list for like days and days because things got so busy at work, like it was a rough week. So yeah, but if you want to see what sold for me in like the craziest weekend of my life, definitely make sure that you've hit that subscribe button and clicked on the notification bell so that YouTube lets you know as soon as that video goes live, because you're not going to want to miss it. I promise you that. And if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, if you had a good time hanging out with me, please hit that like button. I would super duper appreciate it. Happy Vlogmas. I hope you're enjoying seeing more content from me than normal in the month of December, and I'm excited to see you in the next one. Bye.